Welcome back to Corey's Corner. I'm Corey. This is my corner, and since the Masters just happened, congrats to Scotty Scheffler. Who not better to have on than a golfer that golfs for Bellarmine. Welcome on, Patrick Brooks.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a senior business administration major here. I also play golf. Fourth year playing collegiately, first year playing here at Bellarmine. I love it so far. It's great, yeah. But we had a big weekend.
Yeah, big. So you transferred from Belmont?
Yep, down in Nashville.
What was it like playing there?
It was different. It was, we played at 3 different courses. They were all great courses. It was a little bigger. The scheduling was different. Just being a bigger school, it was, everybody was able to practice and play at the same time, which made things easier because then you don't have to make up qualifying rounds. And, that just comes with, being one of the first-year Division I programs here at Bellarmine. But, no, I love it. I love Louisville. I love being home. I'm from here originally. Went to St. X with you. Played golf at St. X. I love Louisville. I love everything about it. So,
how much did St. X golf help with?
It helped tremendously. I mean, our golf team was phenomenal. We had Drew Doyle plays at LSU. Campbell Kramer plays at Kentucky. Roy Bender plays at Indiana. I went down to Belmont. Andrew Flynn is at Wright State. Shout out to Andrew Flynn. He just won his first collegiate tournament this weekend.
Dang, wow.
Let's see. Yesterday he won it. Bryce Beard went to Presbyterian. Dalton Robertson went to Georgetown. And then, years behind us, Cash Alvarado and Riley Bender are here at Bellarmine.
Yeah.
Jackson Finney's at Cincinnati. We were pretty stacked.
Yeah, I mean, you're forgetting the number one, Justin Thomas.
Well, Justin Thomas too,
he was before us, but
yeah,
but I'm sure that's helped a lot.
Yeah, it has, and it's fun too. We all come back here and we all play in the summer, get some games going, and it's great. It's a lot. There's no shortage of competition. John Marshall Butler too.
Yeah.
He went to Trinity. Ballard Harris went to Trinity. There's a lot of Trinity. Frankie Morgan went to Trinity. Ben Wolkoff went to Trinity. These are all the guys on my team besides John Marshall.
What's the competition like just in Bellarmine, like between each other? Is it pretty competitive?
It's very competitive. Everybody wants to beat each other, but then you also want your teammates to play well. So it's interesting. Golf is, it's an individual sport, so it's hard when you make it a team sport a little bit because obviously you want your team to do well, but you almost have to have a selfish mindset a little bit because you need to focus on yourself and focus on you playing well so that you help the whole team in return. Yeah.
How does it – I don't know a whole lot on how golf works, the collegiate level, because I've only – you see it on TV and it's one person playing for themselves. How does it work competition-wise? Do the coaches choose who's scoring or like –
So it depends. There's a lot more that go into it than just scores, which you think it would just be scores. But, somebody's style of game might suit one course better than another. If you're playing a really long course one week and somebody doesn't hit it as far, maybe you'd want the guy that hits it a little farther. So it just kind of, it depends on the week. We're all very competitive. Everybody wants to play. And it stinks when you don't play. I've had a tough spring season. I had a really good fall, tough spring season. But, we got conference championships. We're leaving on Thursday for that. So hopefully sneak in the lineup
Where's
for that. That's down in Dothan, Alabama.
Okay, what course?
I think it's Oak Valley Country Club, maybe.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
Have you played there before?
I have not. So that'll be interesting. And this is actually another kind of interesting NCAA rule is that you're within like 6 to 8 months of the conference tournament being held at the golf course, you can't play there.
Okay.
So if I was playing for Bellarmine, I couldn't go down there and play it like last weekend.
Yeah, to like prepare.
I'd be ineligible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know if that's the same with like PGA? Like.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so like since Justin Thomas is from Louisville, he could be practicing at Valhalla for the PGA Championship.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't think they're having anything, or they have a lot of preparation.
Yeah, so I'm a caddy out at Valhalla, and we had our caddy meeting, and so we have it's a member tournament called the Storm in Norman, and that's April 27th and 28th. So I went out there a couple weeks for our caddy meeting. I mean, All the tents are up. The course looks great. They shut the course down in November, so nobody's played on it. So
That's
the grass
crazy.
is perfect. Everything looks really good. I'm excited. It's going to be a great event.
So, right before they shut it down, so a year ago I was telling you about this. I had the internship with WDRB,
Mm-hmm.
and it was right after they did a bunch of remodeled the whole course.
Yeah.
Tom Lane got to practice on, or he got to do I don't know what they called it. It was something for just media people. There were 4 media people that got to golf the course, and I would have got to golf the course. Eric and Rick, they're like, yeah, we had a pass. You could have golfed it. I was like, oh, come
you should
on.
have gone.
Yeah, so I missed out on that. But have you actually golfed there?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I played out there probably a dozen times. It's a good track. So one of the big things they did out there was they switched the grasses.
Okay.
So it used to be like a bent and bluegrass out there.
How do they even do that?
Strip the whole course. Well, not the roughs, but the fairways.
Okay, yeah.
So the greens are still bent, but they put in this grass called Zeon Zoysia, and it's tight like it is bent, but it doesn't get as wet,
Okay.
and it's easier to maintain because bent, you find up north a lot,
Yeah.
and it takes a lot of water to maintain. Not up there as much because it's a little wetter up there, but down here, the fairways could tend to burn out, and
Yeah,
it's
especially in the summer.
in the summer when it gets hot.
Year.
Yeah, it's a real pain to keep up. So, but this Zeon Zoysia looks great. I think everybody's gonna like it a lot better. It's not as wet out there. Remember how wet it got the 2014 PGA?
Yeah.
That was a swamp. So I'm really excited. I think this is gonna be great.
Sweet. Do you have any role in the PGA Championship?
I don't. I have a couple buddies that are volunteering. I know some of the caddies are helping on the ground, so they're putting out the cables, the television lines. They're holding the microphones, helping with that sort of stuff. But no, I'm just gonna try and spectate this year.
Yeah,
that's
enjoy
my goal.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it hard for you since you play golf? Is it hard, or not professionally, for competition you play against other people? Is it hard to just watch it sometimes?
Definitely. I remember going out there for the PGA in 2014, and I got out there, and you're watching all these guys play, and you're like, gosh, I just want to I want to leave and go play right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, I'm assuming I'm going to have a little bit of that, but, as I've gotten older and I don't think I'm going to play professional golf, I think it'll be much more enjoyable to watch and actually be out there and just kind of soak it all in.
That's sweet. Now, you talked about professional. What do you have to do to get on LIV PGA? What do you have to do to get to that level?
So it's tough. It's really hard, especially with how good the players are now.
Yeah, I mean, watching the Masters last week was insane.
A lot of the young guys, Neil Shipley's a graduate student at Ohio State, played the final round with Tiger.
Yeah.
Just a lot of really good young players out there. So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can get into a PGA Tour event and win it as an amateur. That's what Nick Dunlap down in Alabama did, and he's now 20 years old. And if you win a PGA Tour event, you get to keep your card for 2 years, so your PGA Tour card for 2 years. And that's assuming you do nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
And then now the NCAA has this thing called the PGA Tour U.
Okay.
So the way that works, and I'm not fully very, very well acquainted with it, but from what I understand is that if you win it, so do you know Ludvig Åberg, the Swedish guy?
Yeah.
So he won it last year. He played at Texas Tech and won it, and that's how he's been playing.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's won and played in the Ryder Cup, so he's going to stick around for a while.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show how good all these young guys are now.
They're doing that so that it gives a way for these younger people.
Yeah, to go in because there used to not be a direct feed into the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
So, and then I think the rest of the 4 in that top 5 get full status on the Korn Ferry Tour, which is the step below the PGA Tour. And then after that, I think it goes all the way to 25. You get some conditional status on the PGA Tour Latin America and the Canadian Tour, and that's even a step below the Korn Ferry Tour. So it still shows how hard it is to even just get on the Korn Ferry Tour or the PGA Tour.
How hard do you think it is for those? I mean, once you're that good, to keep that status?
It's tough. You look at a lot of the guys that are on the Korn Ferry Tour. They've been on there for years, and there's some PGA Tour players that go to the PGA Tour, and then the next year they're bumped down to Korn Ferry, and then they go back up, and then they go back down, and they go back up. So it's stressful. It's hard to kind of find a groove because golf is kind of a day-to-day game. You can play great one day and really poorly the next.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see that with Tiger. I mean, speaking of the Masters, he had the worst tournament he's ever had at the Masters.
Yeah, his finish wise, yeah. I mean, and he still made the cut though. So
which is crazy. 24
impressive.
Consecutive years. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's just going to show how dominant he is and how much he prepares for the Masters. Because I know in recent years he hadn't really been playing in anything just because he's been battling some injuries. But it shows how much he cares about it and how how much preparation he does put into it to still maintain that high level of play.
Do you think he'll continue to go to tournaments, or do you think he's gonna start calling it quits?
I don't know. I think it's definitely his tournament load is definitely gonna decrease substantially, just because he's older. His body's not working as well, but I think he'll always play in the Masters.
Oh, that was his first time golfing 4 days straight.
Yeah.
For a tournament.
Yeah,
and I can't remember how long, but it was a long time.
Yeah, and Augusta's a really hilly course. There's a lot of undulations, so it's definitely a tough walk. You got a lot of uphill, side hill, downhill lies. So I think he'll always play in the Masters. I think he'll always try and make it a priority to play because he'll get invited to play until he's dead.
Yeah, since he won,
Yeah, you win, you get a lifetime exemption. So, and he's won it 5 times. So
yeah, that's free. You think Scotty catches him
at Augusta or majors, or both?
Both.
With how he's playing right now, he's 27 years old. I think he could definitely catch him in both aspects. Yeah.
I think definitely Augusta. I think he has a chance for both. He's playing really good.
He is playing really good. He's tough to beat. You watch him play, he's like a robot. He just doesn't make any mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was really tight up there going into the final round. But everybody kind of knew that Scott, you'd have to catch him. He wasn't going to lose it.
Yeah.
You
went into the last day, he had a little bit of a lead. And then he got that lead, and you're like, okay.
Yeah,
it's obvious.
You're going to have to go take it from him. He's not going to lose it and hand it to you.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't making any errors. And then when he would make an error, he's able to correct it so easily.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing, too, is that Vern Lundquist, it was his last year, but he always said, the Masters tournament doesn't start till the back 9 on Sunday.
Yeah.
And it played true. I mean, Morikawa hit it in the water left, Ludwig Gobert hit it in the water left on 11. And from there, I mean, you're looking at bogey or double, and then you're 2 shots behind them. And with, 7 holes left, it's tough. And, 12th isn't an easy hole after you just hit it in the water.
I can't remember. It was someone they were interviewing Sunday, and they said to stay just comfortable, not try and go for the crazy shot.
Definitely.
You want to stay comfortable because once you get out of your comfort is when you start making errors. And
definitely.
I can't remember who it was, but they did not finish as good as they were predicted.
Yeah, you kind of got to play smart and let the putts fall where they fall. If you start pushing stuff, some courses you can, but, honestly, in any major that you play in, you can't really force stuff. You just kind of... You kind of got to make sure you hit a lot of greens, give yourself birdie looks, and hopefully the putts fall. If they don't fall, though, you got nothing to really hang your head about, though, because you gave it a shot. You just somebody else's putter was a little hotter that week.
Yeah. So going back to Bellarmine Golf and your golf, what do you typically shoot?
I'd like to say around even par.
Okay.
When I'm playing like I'm supposed to. I had a. Let's see, I think it was a 72.3 average in the fall through 5 events. And then we had a 1-round tournament in the spring. Mm-hmm. It was our first tournament. I shot 70 there. And then I haven't played since. I've been playing really poorly in qualifying. But I had a low round of 65 in the fall. A couple other rounds in the 60s. But I'd say usually it's right around there, even par.
How often do you have to practice?
Well, right now it's kind of a matter of how often I get to practice. I'm working a lot. That business internship class. Been working for my dad a little bit as his dental assistant. Working on school and get my MBA, and I just whenever I can get out there, I get out there and play.
Yeah.
But I'm not really one to I don't hit a lot of balls. If I'm going to practice, I'm really just going to go chip and putt.
Okay.
I kind of feel like my swing's not really going to change on a day-to-day basis, and I'm going to hit the ball about as good as I'm going to hit the ball. So I just just making sure putting and chipping's dialed. I can usually get off the tee pretty well and just kind of try to hit a lot of greens and make some putts.
If you have the technique, you have the technique.
Yeah, it can change too. When it's colder outside, you got a lot of layers on. Yeah. It's harder to turn. It's harder to get into the spots that you would if you're, it's 100 degrees out. Your muscles are loose as opposed to tight. So, stretching is really important before the round, especially when we're playing out in these cold. The spring's cold. It's always cold.
Yeah.
Spring collegiate golf is not for the faint of heart. It's not fun. You get out there at 5 o'clock in the morning and it's 35 degrees. You miss-hit a golf ball and your hand goes numb for about 5 minutes, But in the fall, it's nice because it's warm pretty much all the way up until the last one or two tournaments. Mm-hmm. But the spring, the tournaments don't really get warm until now, like at the end of our season.
Well, the other day we had a record warmth yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah. But that's why a lot of our tournaments are down south in the spring. But, even when we're out qualifying and, we're playing here in Louisville, it's cold. It's cold, windy, wet.
Yeah, how do you all play, because you can't golf when it's pouring down rain?
We usually do.
Really?
Yeah.
You play through the rain?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Play through the rain. As long as the ground's not frozen, we'll play, because you can damage the greens if the ground's frozen.
Yeah.
Storms, we don't play. Some courses shut down if they get a lot of water. Like if it's rained all night and the course is really wet, they just don't want to tear the course up. But for the most part, if it's raining, we'll play.
Dang, I didn't know that. What's your favorite course in Louisville?
Ooh, it's a good one. I really like Hurstbourne. Hurstbourne's great. I love playing out there. I really like Valhalla. It's nice because as a caddy on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, after the last tee time, we get to go out and play.
Oh, that's cool.
So try and take advantage of that. I'm trying to think. I'll take Harmony Landing's probably my favorite.
Okay.
I kind of grew up playing out there. It's just there's really not a soul out there.
Yeah.
They actually just renovated the course this year, but me and some buddies, I think it was, a lot of times you can only play 4 people per group. But there's so little people that play out there that we had 6 or 7 and we ended up playing 54 holes in a day.
Oh wow.
I know. Dang. Just go out there
You're
and
all moving then.
Oh yeah, we play real fast and just get out there and just play as many as you can, and it's a blast. I like Harmony. I'd probably say, you kind of got to go Valhalla, but it's probably the best in the city. But I think Harmony Land is probably my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to work at Hunting Creek. They just got hit with the tornado.
Yeah.
And it was destroyed.
Yeah.
But I never took advantage on Tuesdays. They were closed. I never took advantage of
going to play.
Yeah. Because I just wasn't into golfing. I've started to get into golf now.
Hunting Creek's a really good course.
It's hilly.
It's hilly. It's tough. Yeah, it's tight. A lot of houses.
Yeah, a
lot of out of bounds. Yeah, but it's a really good course.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on. Good luck with the tournament.
Thank
when
you.
Is that? Next week?
So it's next Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Okay. So that's what is it? What's today? April 14th.
Yeah, so I think it's the 20th. I want to say the 23rd is the last day. So 21st to 23rd, I think, right? Is that?
Yeah, 21st, 22nd, 23rd is the tournament.
Yeah, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. Hopefully you get to.
Hopefully, man.
Compete.
Hopefully.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah, pleasure.
Thank you all for watching. This is actually the last one of the semester, so thank you all for watching throughout the semester. Hope I was a light to your all's day, and
tune in.
Yeah, tune in. Maybe I'll have some more coming in the future. I don't know yet. Thank you.